When you're doing something you're not used to, you kind of realize that you're still a kid, even though the whole world around you sees you as an adult and you're expected to act like an adult. You still haven't actually grown up. If I ever found a place where I belonged, that in itself would be an identity crisis to me. I know for a fact that I'm problematic. I shouldn't be looked to for any kind of guidance. When you love someone and care about them, you want what's best for them, and it's always the hardest thing to realize maybe you aren't what's best for them, how hard you try. Music was the one thing that was just mine, and no one could take it from me. I created it, dictated it, and it made me not able to let go of it. As a woman of color, I always have to be at 150% and better than everybody in the room to be considered competent. You can never learn enough about music. It's nice to know there's a big world with many perspectives. I tend to get so stuck in my own small world easily, and going out into the world reminds me that I'm not the center of the world in a good way. Growing up, I never really felt like anything was my own. I moved a lot, and I never belonged anywhere. I don't think bleak is a bad thing. I can't read in a car, because I'll get sick. It's almost instant. I think it's our responsibility as artists to not only fight for our art but fight for the communities that are the reason we're able to continue making art, especially since, in Brooklyn's case, we as artists somehow made it cool enough for the bigger money-making industries to start taking over. I try to be regimented and try to stay healthy and work out and eat properly and go to sleep. And not get too caught up in the industry in my regular life, so I can save all my expression and energy for my art. When you're an adult, things mellow out. I think when you're a teenager and you are sad and the world is ending, everything is about that one sadness. There's this myth that women are supposed to compete with each other or something, or we're supposed to hate each other, and that's totally not productive. I'd always been fascinated by death, which sounds so morbid. Especially being a woman trying to make music, I think there's a sense that you're never young enough, or your career is going to end soon. I don't think I'm alone in this. I'm obsessed with trying to not only be happy but maintain happiness, but my definition of happiness is skewed more towards ecstasy rather than contentment. When you are a minority, it's your job to bend, and when you love someone, you really want to make it work. Then you start to realize, oh, I'm bending a lot, and they're just standing there existing, and I'm bending around them. But you can't blame them. They don't realize it, that's just how they already existed. It's hard. When I go on stage and am performing the way I want to, I finally feel like myself. You can be heartbroken about a relationship but also, from it, realize you are you, and you're okay with who you are or where you came from. A lot of musicians talk about how they were into music from the start, they always wanted to be musicians. It wasn't like that for me. I didn't think of it as a job or a career, it was just something that was constant. I tend to kind of try to use what's in my environment to the best of my ability rather than seek out things that I don't already have. Being an outsider at all times is both unhealthy and useful, because you become much more objective about things. Pop artists work really hard, and they might not work for the same things that indie artists do, but they're still musicians, and they're still making art. I think the pressure gets to me when I play shows and there's more people in the audience than I'm used to. I always have strong urges to sabotage myself. Whenever someone says they like something about my music, I tend to not want to do that anymore. It's not even that I don't like it anymore, it's that I keep trying to find ways for people to dislike me. I think people don't realize how little of being an artist is making art. I don't want to be a musician's musician. I want to be an everyone's musician. Maybe this is a made-up belief to preserve myself, but I do believe that everyone has a purpose, and my purpose is to put out music that means something. When someone is a musician, trying to make a living off being a public figure, it's really easy for people to see me as a face on a screen that doesn't have a personal life. Mitsuki Miyawaki, born Mitsuki Laycock, September 27, 1990, known professionally by the mononym Mitsuki, in Mie Prefecture, Japan, to a white American father and a Japanese mother. Her first language was Japanese. She moved frequently while growing up due to her father's job at the United States Department of State, living in Turkey, China, Malaysia, the Czech Republic, and the Democratic Republic of Congo before settling in the United States. She sang in a choir in high school and was 18 when she wrote her first song on the piano. Mitsuki is a Japanese and American singer-songwriter. Mitsuki self-released her first 2 albums, Lush 2012 and Retired from Sad, New Career in Business 2013, while studying studio composition at Purchase College's Conservatory of Music. These albums were created originally as her senior project at Purchase. She released her 3rd studio album, Bury Me at Makeout Creek, in 2014 through Double Double Whammy after graduating. Mitsuki then signed with Dead Oceans in 2015 and released her critically acclaimed albums Puberty 2 2016, Be the Cowboy 2018, and Laurel Hell 2022. The last of which entered the top 10 in several territories. In 2022, Ben Beaumont Thomas of The Guardian dubbed her the best young songwriter in the United States. In 2022, she co-wrote This Is a Life from the film Everything Everywhere All at Once, which earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Original Song.